everyone, it is Gail here with Tin Can, and I am a part of this fabulous group of ladies doing the craft-a-thon. And I hope you've been catching it. I've got my cheat sheet right here. Yesterday, and you can go back and watch the replay on their pages, Amy with Reinvented Home, and Mitcha Brownie with Mitcha's, I hope I'm saying that right, Heartworks, Melissa Marrow, Rave Home Collection, and Royce Hunt Bell with Roycycled Treasures. And I was able to watch a couple of them, and I need to go back and watch some of the replays myself. And today I have been working with up at the store where my booth is at, and so I'm just now sitting down to what I'm gonna do. Let me get this out of the way. That's something for later. Today it started at 10 Central, and T Woodall, sorry about that. 11, Jody Kerr with Meandering Maker. 12 with Coastal Grace Designs was Wendy Dexter. 1, Liz with Liza Jane Designs. 2 was 56 Vintage Market with Vanessa Brown. 3, Brush Design with Laura, thank you. And me, Gail with Tin Can Designs, and then right after me, Angela Witzel, Dogwood Exchange. I always try to catch her lives. I try to catch a lot of these lives, but a lot of times I have to go back for the replays. And then Kelly and Steph with the Salty Lick Mercantile in Kentucky. Fabulous ladies. If you, like I said, if you didn't get to catch the live, go back and try to catch the replay, because it really is a lot of good information. And I'm going to do that as well. Tomorrow, starting at 10, is Vintage Revival Designs with Michelle, and she's really good to watch. All these ladies are good to watch. It's hard to just pick several, but it may take you a week, but you should go and watch every one of them. Sherry with Butternut Hollow. Sherry was kind enough to put this together for all of us, and tomorrow I may do nothing but watch. Sherry Martin and Friends with Front Room on 7th, and Para, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, A Cubed Art, and some of her furniture pieces that she's done is fabulous, and they all are. Callie's Redesigned with Callie, and I try to catch her too. I try to catch all of them, but unfortunately it's impossible, but I will watch every one of these for sure. So we're just doing some like little crafts and trying to get some stuff together. So I got a couple of things going on here that that I thought I would get together. I did one of these not that long ago, and I used several products, and I saw something similar by watching a live, and this is an IOD wood board, and what I did was I've already primed it because it was going to take so long to do it. And then what I did was I decoupaged one of the recycled papers. This one's not going to work. I'll have to get another one. But I decoupaged one of these on, and it was too light for me. So after I decoupaged one of these papers, would you give me another one like that? Or where? They're right here, out of this bin. I went over it with our Wise Owl. I'm a Wise Owl retailer. I'm a Roycycled Decoupage paper retailer, and I'm an IOD retailer. So I'm going to use the just a tiny bit. This is Wise Owl Java Glaze. So after I did the papers, the decoupage papers, I went over it with the glaze, and no. There's one that's real similar to that one I just handed you. It just looks like a newspaper.
Well, it's not.
No, it's a bigger piece down there. And
No, it's not.
then it was too dark, so I did a dry brush of a lighter color. It was either Cashmere, Isles Ave, one of those. Wise Owl. I did that, and then I finished it up with the buck on the IOD pages, and as soon as I took it to the booth, it sold. And I've done another one just on a wood slice, I guess. Thank you. That's my assistant, Ronnie. I did it on a wood chip, and I did the smaller buck. And so I stole this out of the store because it hadn't sold. So since that was just a piece, this is part of Vintage Ads, and I'll use it because after I do the glaze and all the other stuff, you can't really tell a whole lot what it is anyway, but it has that background that it needs, in my opinion, for the buck. So that's what we're going to start off with first. And I just have this primed, and I think you need something as opposed to raw wood for the decoupage. I've used just prime before, and it worked out well, so that's what I'm going to do now. And I know I say "and of" too much, but my mind sometimes gets ahead of everything else.
No.
Be quiet. Nobody asked you. Go away. And so we're just going to take this, and would you hand me the briar out of that top rolling cart right there? Thank you. I knew I'd forget a bunch of stuff. And so I have, for my decoupage medium, I'm going to use, I don't know how to watch that actually from there. I'm going to use the 1 Hour Enamel Clear Matte. I use the varnish sometimes, and I use the clear matte sometimes. So it just depends. I've been using the 1 Hour Enamel Clear Matte a lot because it dries really fast. The varnish dries fast too, but. And I have a confession. I don't wait for an hour for it to dry. So I have several brushes, and this is the Cleon F30. Probably my favorite is the S30. I just like smaller brushes, I always have. And the Wise Owl angled brush. And that's my absolute favorite out of everything. So I'm going to give this a quick stir. I don't know why I haven't put these in FIFO bottles. I have a lot on FIFO bottles. It doesn't look live. I hope this is okay. Looks okay from your end. It doesn't for mine, but, or right here it does, but not on the other one, but that's okay. So I'm going to probably just do because this does dry kind of fast, I'm just going to do half really quickly. I love decoupage. It is so fun and easy. And I'm really kind of doing this backwards. But that's usually me. So I'm gonna put this on. Trying to get it straight. I do use the saran wrap some to keep from wrinkles, but I don't have a lot of issues with wrinkles with this paper. It just usually, now you will see wrinkles when you go back to put your top coat on, but once it dries, they will go away. And I don't know if this will get dry enough, but maybe it will, to do what I want to do. And then I'm going to do the other half real quick. Look at you trying to help me. I told Ronnie he should do like Royce's husband and read all the comments to me, but he didn't seem like he wanted to do that. And Jane's husband always does it too. I'm not a very comedic person, and he is more so. He probably would have brought a little more of a comedic element.
What's your name?
Mop off of sandpaper. Yep, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and get the edges off so they won't be in my way. And I'm just going to use, I got this trick from Royce, which is fabulous, because I'd have it torn everywhere. And it just comes off like that. See a little bubble. I'm going to do this other side. Oops. Yeah, it should be good. So that's what it looks like. And then we're going to go ahead and take our 1 hour enamel and put our top coat on. And this will help it. And every once in a while, run across a little piece where the top coat had dried underneath. And so we're going to let this kind of set up. And I still need some edges I need to sand off, but we're going to let that set up for just a minute. And a couple other things that I've been working on is just little Christmas ornaments and stuff like this. And this is actually a tag, but I'm going to paint over that. So I thought this would be fun. And I've done several things, but I went ahead and did some IOD Christmas trees that I'm going to put on them. But I'm going to put a little paint down first. I usually have everything sitting up on blocks because I'm kind of messy. I don't need any now. I was just making a comment. But like the paint, if it goes on the edges, it'll stick to. Try not to do the edges. This is Wise Owl's Ave that I'm using, which is kind of an off-white. I do have some color too that I thought I might. You know what? I think I'm gonna go back and do one of these red. I think I want one of them red. Is there any green paint back there?
Yeah, right here. Okay, botanical.
That's exactly what I'm looking for. Thank you. I'm going to use that in a minute. I'm trying to get that to dry really quickly.
Here you go.
Yeah, that worked. Also have a cross that I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. And I still don't know, so I don't know if I'm going to do anything with it yet or not. I'm going to take the heat gun real quick and try to dry this up for sure. Because I know I want to paint one of them red. And crafts like this, to me, are always a big experiment anyway. I have a lot of big fat fails. I was doing a wood circle, and I was trying a new technique with some vinyl, and I was trying to do like a reverse stencil where you pull it up instead of putting your paint in the empty spots. It didn't work worth a darn for me. And so it was a big fat fail. So I ended up.
You already got a cut.
Huh?
You already have a cut.
Oh. And I saw Royce using these little cups from the Dollar Tree, and I had gotten some at the Dollar Tree, and I said, that's what I need to use them from. But I'll use a paper plate, and I'll use these little cups, and I use solo cups, and I just keep reusing them and reusing them, because I don't, until it's absolutely destroyed, I don't want to do away with it. So I'm going to take a different brush, and I'm going to paint one of these red. This is Wise Owl Republic Red, and this is all the chalk synthesis paint that I'm using. You could use the 1 hour enamel for this as well, but usually when I'm doing stuff like this and I may end up blending some stuff, I use the chalk synthesis paint. And look how well it covers right over that lighter color. I'm going to do the edges real quick. I even usually do the backs of a lot of stuff because I feel like it's more finished. But I'm not going to do that today unless I do it later. can't wait to go back and watch the lives from earlier. Some talented ladies in this group. For sure. I enjoy watching all of them. I get hooked on watching them when I'm supposed to be watching TV with my husband, which I don't do a lot anyway, watch TV, but sometimes later in the evening we try to sit down and relax and watch something. So there's my red one. Now I'm going to go ahead and get my trees and glue them on. And these are from the IOD Christmas molds. I don't remember the name of the mold. And the paper clay. I'm just gonna get that. And you could go ahead and paint these while they're wet and just glued down. I think I just messed that. Got a little too much glue on it. We'll figure out a way to cover that up though. I hope y'all's weather is as good as ours. I mean, it's like crazy it's like 75 today. It's been gorgeous. I almost hate being cooped up inside when I was at the shop earlier, but it's Christmas open house today, so I was trying to help out where I could. So now I'm going to take a little bit of the botanical and I'm going to paint my tree green. And I have a smaller brush I'm going to use since I've already painted the other red, and I'll probably have to go in and touch that up because when I put the tree on. But like I said, this paint covers so well. And even doing something like this, if you don't get solid coverage, it's really okay because you're getting the implied green from the tree. And I have something else I'm going to put on the tree, but I'm going to let it dry a little bit first. I'm going to stop for 1 second and go ahead and glue this other one on before I forget. And I'm going to leave that white for Owl's Ave, which I can see some of the two. Well, I'll go back and touch that up as well. But get this glued on, because most of the time I have to go back and touch. And can y'all see that okay? Get a little closer. And you'll be able to see this one a little bit better. Hey T, how are you doing? But I think Christmas crafts are probably, I don't do a ton of crafts, I can't even say it. I mostly do furniture and a little bit of decor, which I guess you could call crafts, but things like this I don't do a ton of, but at Christmas time I really find them fun and relaxing. Okay, who has put their tree up? I hear a lot of people are putting their trees up really early. I don't know if it's because of COVID or COVID and the election stuff that's going on, and we don't talk politics, by the way. I don't even like reading it. I just try to stay away from politics altogether on Facebook. Because I don't want to, people get angry. And I just don't want to get into all that. I'd rather talk happy things. So a lot of people are putting their Christmas tree up early. And the past 2 or 3 years, we have not even had a Christmas tree per se. We had a small one that could sit on a table. Because my kids are grown and usually just don't have time for all of it. But last year we bought, because we've had like a big Christmas tree. We always do artificial for the most part because of our dogs mostly. And so last year after Christmas we bought a pre-lit LED tree, and I think it's like a skinny kind, but I think we're going to try to put it up tomorrow because I want to do it different. I bought some ornaments from Angela Whitsitt of Dogwood Exchange. They were doing for a fundraiser, and then I bought some, and that was yesterday I think, and then I bought some before of one of her new vendors in her shop that were just very different, and I thought that's just perfect. And I want to make some, so I may not get all the ornaments all at one time, but you know, get the tree up and then get some of the ornaments on, like the ones I bought from Angela that I already have, and then some other stuff that's handmade. And we have like a piece of okra that Ronnie's aunt had painted up and made, and we've had it for years. But things like that just have a little bit more meaning to us. And so I'm hoping that we can get that done. So the decoration will go slow. But pre-lit was really important to me because I don't like to put the lights on, and I don't like to take them off. Usually I try to get Ronnie to do it. And I love decorating for Christmas, but I just don't do that much anymore. I love it. I've always loved Christmas, and I love the decorations, but it looks good, but I just don't need that much anymore. I like to keep everything a little bit simple. Do y'all go all out for Christmas? I like to have a good wreath on the door and the tree. And we don't do a lot of presents anymore either. We just kind of, I think wrapped presents look great under the tree, but we just don't do that anymore much. Everything's kind of small now, so, and spread out. We try to keep it a little more quaint, I guess. Keep the meaning of Christmas as it should be. And I think homemade gifts for the family are a great idea. Unless you have young kids, you know, that need a new video game or the latest Xbox or whatever. I just love this coverage because you don't have to go back and do 2 coats. Look at that. That coverage is so good. I have a few spots I need to touch up. And this one, I missed a few spots. And I'll go back and touch them up. But I'm gonna wait till they're dry good. And again, I need to touch up the red there. I can't really read the comments. Ronnie got an iPad for me so I could see them, but I still can't see them. Because they're, see, those are so cute. And putting a little ribbon on them. So I do want to do one more thing to those if I get a chance. Now I did this tree with the IOD, and I had this is like one of the old, corner rounds, is that what you call it, or something, like they're over doors and stuff. I don't know the name of stuff very well, but I thought that might look kind of cute and different. I don't know, what do you think? I think I would need to paint the tree first because this has this old grungy paint on it, and I don't want to take that off. It may be lead anyway, so, and I could just paint the sides and stuff. But I just think these are the neatest things, and they're so, you can tell they're old. We'll see. I'm gonna paint the tree by itself first. Whoops. So this is one of the Christmas papers from Roycycled. And I thought one of these would be fun. This one. I like all of them. I love the Cardinals. I'm going to tell you one thing that I did. And I may post a picture later, or I may have already posted a picture, but I had an old, it was not a full-size barn door. It was like a half of a barn door. I don't know if it was to a loft or whatever, but it was really, really old. And it had all these funky paint colors and stuff on it. So I sanded it down real good. And I took scraps of my decoupage papers, and even some that weren't scraps, and like tore them and just placed them all over. I wanted it to look like somebody was trying to strip the wallpaper off, and then there was just all these pieces of wallpaper underneath. And I like the way it turned out because it was different. And so it had a little bit of the damask, the railroad. I didn't put any Christmas in it, but it had a few other things. Now I need to measure to see if I want to put this on this piece or this tag type piece or flag type piece. And I really didn't measure which, they're about the same size, what would be the best fit. Ooh, what is that? Oh, that's fine. I really like the birds. I think would look good on this Christmas tree. I think this one should go here. Even though I'm doing this bug, I need to check on my piece. It's drying up well. I'm trying to find my scissors. Y'all, I hate it that y'all can see behind me because this table is a hot mess. I've been trying to rearrange some stuff, and this has been like where everything's landed. And I need a curtain behind me or something to cover all that mess up. We've been doing a lot of DIY projects around the house, and so I haven't had time to finish what I started back there. I've been painting the media room with the Wise Owl 1 hour ceramic paint. And I'm really liking the way it is going. And then when we moved in this house a couple of years ago, it was yellow and orange. And so we've got the living area, or living room, great room, painted, and kitchen area painted first, because that's where we stayed mostly. And so we're just now getting to the upstairs. And we're taking our time, you know, to make sure we do the colors we want. If I do it that way, it's not going to show all his antlers. So I think I'm going to do it this way. So we have, my office is kind of finished, and the media room I'll be working on tomorrow finishing, and then we're going to do Ronnie's office, and then we'll be finished for a while, because I think all the downstairs has been finished. Bedrooms, bathrooms, and laundry rooms, but I enjoy doing all that stuff because I feel like I've actually accomplished something afterwards. So we're gonna go with that. Guys, like this. I love that little girl, but I've got a frame, a round frame that I think she would really look good in. I almost want to have a couple of things with her. I don't know, I have to think about that. So again, we're just using the 1 hour enamel clear matte. And you can use Mod Podge, you can use, I personally am not a big fan of Mod Podge. I like the Wise Owl varnish matte real well. I had a trunk years ago that when we had our store, the outside was really in good shape. The inside, not so much. And so I took various, I think they were scrapbook papers, did like a collage of all these travel things with the inside. I see, I like stuff like that. Of course, I'm a little kooky anyway, but and if you guys haven't tried some of these products, I know several of these ladies are decoupage retailers, Wise Owl retailers, and or IOD retailers. Not all, but some of them are. And so if you have one in your area, you really should give it a try. Look how, see, that already looks good. This doesn't need much. So I'm gonna just go over it, and I will paint the sides. I didn't, like I said, I just did a primer on it, just so it would have something. And I could have put a paint color on it. So there, I'm just gonna set this aside. This will be dry in an hour. And I may put another coat on it. I might not. Probably doesn't need one. But I'm gonna set that. And I will post pictures of all this stuff when it's finished. But I really wanna go back to this one. And so when you glaze something, you really should have a top coat on it so your glaze has more workable time. Especially with a chalk type paint, you have to have a glaze because it is so porous, it will soak that glaze up and stay right where you put it. But you want more movement out of your glaze. I'm not going to worry about that so much right now because it's taking too much time. So I'm just going to take a tiny, and this is Java, which is more of a brown color, because you don't want it too dark over something like this. And like I said before, and I may not have to on this one, it was too dark and I had to do a dry brush on it. I always try to have a towel or something like that. I use these shop towels all the time to wipe off the glaze. Depending on how dark you might want it. So I'm going to use my S30 for this. And I'm going to use so little of this that I'm just going to use the lid. As you can see how well it wipes back, but still gives you what you're looking for. I have a little piece over here that's didn't have enough. Put a fan on so it would help dry some of this stuff quicker, and I think I need to turn it off. It's kind of cold. One second. Okay, much better. And you can even concentrate more on the corners, or you wouldn't have to use this at all. You wouldn't have to decoupage at all. I just really liked the look. I used one of the papers, which was the horse. What do they call it? I can't remember the names. The horse with the flowers. Kind of a big neutral. But I just framed it. And I thought it looked so cool. And it just so happens the day that I took it up to the booth, this woman was looking for items, horse-related items, for her daughter's wedding. And I had a print that I had put on canvas, but it was too bold. She was looking for something softer. And I don't know if she came back and got that or not, but somebody picked it up. Which tickles my fancy, for sure. So we're gonna leave that kind of there. Hey Dixie girl, what you doing? One of my pups came to say hi. So what do you think? Gives it an aged look. And I'm gonna use this heat gun because I really want to finish this one. If I don't finish any of the rest of them, I want to finish this one. So do you think I should do a dry brush on this one or leave it like this? This one's a lighter paper, it seems. But to me, this looks like, I don't know, it seems like years ago in the country, people used newspapers a lot for, you know, putting under pictures, and I don't know, that's what it reminds me of. And I just like stuff that looks really old, I guess, because I am old. Okay. Let me, I keep knocking stuff off. They usually have a longer table. So this is a buck. Many of you have probably seen the Woodlands transfers. And I'm telling you what, I don't know if people, they do cost a little more, but I have used so much out of one pack. It's crazy. And the other one I did, I left the bits where they were and added some more bits to it. But I'm gonna cut the bits off this one, and I may put them back in a different spot, or I may use different bits because I have got several small bits that I'm gonna use. I even took some of these and put on something similar to this for little ornaments. And that's one thing I do like about the OID is you can just cut out and use one little element and save those little scraps and put them together with other scraps. They're not really scraps, they're good bits, but I'm trying to hurry because I don't want to run over and steal some of Angela's time. Plus, I want to go watch her because she always does some really cool stuff. She amazes me on the stuff that she builds. I'm like, I want to go build something. Which is crazy because I can't build squat hardly. I didn't get one of my sticks. 1 second. Don't go away. I have to put stuff in cans because if I don't, I lose them. So I'm going to turn this around where I can say, oh, yes. Yep. If y'all have never seen or used one of these transfers, once you get it down, you can't usually lift them back up. So I'm trying to get it right spot. 1 second. Don't go away. Okay. So that's what we're going with. So we've got our transfer down. And you just rub. This comes with them. I like animals, so it for me to have an animal on a transfer is just. I did a squirrel that was on the woodland transfer, like on a ornament. Wouldn't have to use it for an ornament. Could hang it up in a boy's room or the man cave or. This time has gone by so fast. I really thought I would be like 15 minutes and I'm out of here because I haven't done lives in a good while. Just hadn't felt like I've had the right content, I guess. So this was really, whenever Sherry put this together, it was a really good thing for me because I needed to get back in practice. And so I'm gonna see if it will lift. Usually when you get it just right and you get air in it, that's when it all just starts falling off almost. That's got a little bit of air in it, so it's getting there. This is a great gift for a man to put in his man cave or his area. Some people can't do real deer heads. I don't want a real deer head in my house. Ronnie's not much of a hunter, but if he was and wanted a deer head, I guess I would do it, but see, it just starts lifting up once it gets to a certain point and gets that air in it. And if a little piece wants to come up, you just put it back down and it'll stick. And these are great for embellishing lots of, I mean, you could do a canvas, or it's like instant art almost. Same with decoupage. And I love some of the papers that, and I was using scrapbook paper for a lot of decoupage, was just way too thick. I know this woodland transfer is sold out in a lot of areas. I have one in my booth. But if you have a retailer near you and you're interested, I mean, you can go to the Iron Orchids design page or IOD page and look for retailers. There may be some other retailers that have some. I know a lot of them were out of stock. I didn't order a ton of them because I didn't think people would give this for a Christmas gift. And I know a lot of people are really concentrating on Christmas gifts. We had this one lady who bought a bunch of Christmas gifts today. And the antique mall where we are, I mean, they have such a variety. You can do all your Christmas shopping there. I mean, they have toys, clothes. Especially when they have an event. Like this was Christmas open house, so we always try to have a sale, and most vendors do. And then the next event will be Small Business Saturday, I believe, which I think is the 28th. I think it's the last Saturday of the month. And there'll be sales there as well. And it's stuff you can't get in the big box stores. That's what's so cool about it. I'm going to burnish it. And this just helps it to, hold that. Just get the contact. I have to fold it again. So what do you think? And I did, honestly, I saw someone else doing something very similar, so this was not necessarily original, but you know, and this one doesn't even need the bits. I like it just the well. I may put some and I may not, but I am going to go ahead and put my top coat on. And if you use a chalk style paint, always put a top coat on before you use your transfer, because sometimes chalk style paint is granular when it dries, or it might have some granules under it, which might prevent it from sticking. And we don't want that. So put the top coat on, then put this, and then we're going to put another top coat on, and we're gonna have to call it. And I'm going to touch up the edges on this, and I'll take a few pictures and show the final product. And you guys make sure that you hop over to the Dogwood Exchange. She's here in Tennessee as well. She's in I guess you say Eastern Tennessee. And she's got some phenomenal things going on. So make sure you go and check her out. And thank you to all the other ladies that have already gone on. And tomorrow, don't forget, 10 a.m., Vintage Revival Designs with Michelle. 11, Butternut Holly with Sherry. Front Room on 7th with Sherry. Front Room on 7th with Sherry and friends. 2 p.m., A Cubed Art with Para. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. 3 p.m., Callie Redesign with Callie. Check them out. Phenomenal artist. And you guys have a great rest of your Saturday. Stay tuned for Angela Witsit, Dogwood Exchange. Hop over there now. Thank you so much. I have truly enjoyed it. Again, Gail with Tin Can. And peace out. You have a great Saturday. Bye. Make sure you go and check her out.